Have you had clients who are consciously or unconsciously holding on to a dysfunctional behavior or a state that causes discomfort and stops them from achieving their outcomes? They are holding on to this dysfunctional behavior or state many a times because of the positive intention or the secondary gain that they are deriving from the same. We have already discussed what is positive intention with multiple examples in the previous video. In this video, we will focus on how to help clients identify and work with these positive intentions and secondary gains. Now, before we go ahead, a small action on your part can help others learn from this video as well, right? Remember, helping clients rationalize that the benefit of letting go of the current behavior is greater than holding on to it may work in the short run, but doesn't really work as much in the long run. So if psychosomatic pains that a client experiences also helps them get attention from their family members, it is important to recognize that the attention they are getting is important for at least some part of them. Rationalizing that the benefits of overcoming the pain is greater than the attention they are receiving is not just enough. In short, it is important to preserve and fulfill the positive intention. Which brings us to the next question. How do you as a coach or a therapist do that? You do that by realizing that the current behavior is only one way of fulfilling the positive intention. There can be many other behaviors that can achieve the same objective without creating the current concern or any other challenge for the client. In our example, psychosomatic pains are only one way of getting attention. There are many other ways that can also help the client get attention without creating the pain. Once you realize this, the process becomes a lot more simpler. The first step in the process is to help the client identify the behavior that needs to be changed. Most clients are already aware of this and they can share the same with you. In some cases, even basic questioning skills can help you help clients identify this behavior. Second step is to find out both the unconscious and conscious positive intentions. That is the purpose that this behavior is serving or the benefit that it is trying to achieve. This can be done with the help of explorative questioning, focusing on the probable benefits of the behavior or what the client will need to give up if the behavior were to change. Since some positive intentions are at the level of unconscious, using hypnotic processes and metaphors will make this a lot more faster and easier. Third step is to brainstorm a list of new behaviors that can be used to fulfill the purpose or achieve the benefit. This can be done by literally asking the client to explore alternate behaviors. Fourth step will be to select the top 3 or 4 behaviors that can be used to fulfill the purpose or achieve the benefits in a way that the behaviors can be contextualized as per the given situation. Fifth step is to check whether all selected behaviors are ecological. That means none of the selected behavior will create any additional issue or challenge for the client. Sixth step is to help the clients apply these selected behaviors more naturally and effectively without the need to fight with themselves. You can use when-then statement and anchoring for the same. If you're not sure how to apply the when-then statement techniques or the anchoring with clients, you can check the video in this playlist on restructuring thoughts and reconditioning emotions. Alternatively, you can use the NLP N-step reframing process to do all of this and a bit more. The reframing process mostly follows the same flow but is generally done with the client in an altered state. In the process I have currently described, the client needs to consciously put an effort to find the positive intention and the alternate behaviors. The N-step reframing process has an added advantage of allowing the unconscious to help and guide the client. Also, identification of the positive intention that the unconscious is deriving is a lot more easier with the N-step reframing process. If you would like to learn advanced version of N-step reframing under supervision and guidance, do check out our cognitive hypnotic coaching and psychotherapy diploma. If you have any questions or would like some clarifications, feel free to ask them in the comments and I will take them up during our Friday Q&A sessions on FB and YouTube.